y'all. Hey. Listen. Listen. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot of dang, wrong show. Ready to Love going on right now. Okay. So I ain't gonna be up here long. But I do got some things that I want to discuss. Just a few things. And at first I want to start off by saying, why y'all bully that man into talking about something totally opposite than himself so that he could stop trying to defend himself? Y'all mean. Y'all mean. Y'all, I go into the interview and all I see is y'all bashing that man. Y'all bash that man. Y'all bash that man to the point where he ain't even want to talk about himself no more. He had to start changing directions of the conversation. He started spilling all the tea. All the tea that we've been wanting to know. Frank of all people gave it to us. So y'all mean to tell me all we had to do was get Frank upset, get Frank mad, and he was gonna be ready to spill all the tea tonight? Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thank you very, very, very much. But I want to say this. Frank Cat. Frank Cat. You never wanted Mumin to begin with. She was never it, sir. So I'm gonna tell y'all where he slipped up. I'm gonna tell y'all where he slipped up. I'm gonna tell y'all where he slipped up. Right? This is what he said. He said this. He said, "Oh, we did hang out. I did talk to her. We went, to a few things. When the cast was filming and this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah." I'm just like, okay, no. So you hung out with her with the cast. Okay, cool. Come to find out that he went to therapy a month later. And that's when he decided that he wanted to talk to Mumi. So no, Mumi was not fabricating or making up lies about y'all not talking. You did what you was obligated to do, which was go out with the cast, and she just so happened to be part of the cast. You didn't reach out to her. Y'all wasn't having these conversations. He told us she stayed the night at my house. You think that if that woman stayed the night at your house, that she would have sat up in that couch and said that y'all didn't talk, y'all ain't see each other, y'all ain't do nothing, 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 nothing? If she stayed the night at your house, Frank, stop lying. It was all the lies for me. All the lies for me. Did you waste her time? Did you waste her time? Absolutely. Will you just come out and say, I wanted to pick Sydney, but I was scared of rejection? Because we know, sort of, kind of, that you don't really like, you know, American black women. Let's say that. Let's say American black women, because I get it. You may like African women. You may like Caucasian women, but you're not really here for the American black woman of it all. Let's just be honest about it. Which is why, you were drawn to Sydney. Yes, she's a black woman, but she wasn't as black as the other women. Let's just be honest about it. You never wanted Mumi to begin with. You wasted that whole entire time. You chose her all because you were scared of being dumped by Sydney or being rejected by Sydney because you realized that Sydney was going to pick Phil. Because you sat up there, you tried to convince us that you and Mumi had a conversation. And the conversation that you and Mumi had was that you both decided what was best for you. You and Cindy had the conversation that you both decided that was best for you, and you decided that Mumi was best for you and Phil was best for her. Yet and still, after you decided that Mumi was best for you, you still didn't want Mumi. So how does this make sense in the whole picture of it? Look at it. Does that make sense to you? She's the best for me, but she's really not for me. Nah, nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Okay, but then Frank was so like, he was getting agitated in the seat. He was getting a little hot. Okay, the lights was flashing on him. He was getting a little agitated. Y'all was calling him all types of liars. Okay, y'all was telling him he was capping. Y'all was telling him, like he's an F boy. Y'all was calling him out in that chat, and I said that, and I was like, ooh, child, y'all mean. Y'all mean. Okay, mine is my comment or two. Okay, what I'm saying is, he then decided that, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna spill all the tea because God forbid y'all keep talking about me. Let's just get on to somebody else, because then the next half of the interview literally turned into about Zadia. Okay. Then it turned into about Sydney. And then it turned into about Shiloh and Phil. Okay. So all I'm gonna say is this. So Zadia, you got a problem? You got a problem? You got a problem with your hands? You got a problem with your mouth? Because from what Frank told us, it sounded like you was about to go try to fight Sydney. What do you have against Sydney? And if y'all didn't, y'all probably missed it, but I'm gonna tell you what I heard. It sounded like Phil was definitely hitting at the fact that it was colorism. Okay, we didn't get to see it blatantly. Okay, we just saw nasty attitudes, and the girls just happened to be very, very intense, melanated. So it just seemed like, oh, whatever. But he definitely hinted at the fact that it was colorism, and the fact that they were mad at Sydney. Camille was mad at Sydney, but she was mad at Sydney because Sydney, somebody took her phone off of the charger or the speaker. And so she decided that she was going to go dance on Cornelius. Child was a mess, okay? Next thing you know, Camille let it go. But Zadia couldn't. Once again, Zadia, y'all sit up there and say, don't say we're aggressive. Don't say we're aggressive. But child, if you're acting aggressive, what else should we say? I mean, give me other words. Give me other words. Give me some other words for the aggressive behavior. Please, y'all, give me the words. Give me the words because I'm waiting for them. Because if you're aggressive, then you're aggressive. Let's not make this something that is totally not. Just the same way y'all don't want to make this colorism a thing that is totally not, then we're not going to make another black woman calling you a black woman aggressive, a colorist thing. Okay, let's just do that. So if you're going around trying to fight Sydney, you're going around poking at Dante, it's giving very much aggressive. No, I'm crazy. Okay, cool, bet. So now it all makes sense as to why Zadia was so filmed. Remember we was watching the episode like, why she just snapped like that? Zadia doing too much. Like, girl, what was this call for? It came from the fact that she was already upset being Camille's lapdog. Because honestly, if you listen to the story, it had nothing to do with Zadia. It had everything to do with Camille and Cornelius and Sydney. So how did you get in this, Zadia? Because you want to be Camille's lapdog so bad. You want to get up there and defend her so bad. Oh my God, Brown Girl Squad. Girl, sit down because you're making yourself like a fool. Right. And he gave us some context, okay? Because even the whole Phil and Shiloh situation, he then said that they were out till like 4 or 5 in the morning, y'all. We was thinking like 2 or 3, okay? It was like 4 or 5 in the morning. Not only was it like 4 or 5 in the morning, it was raining outside. Child, the details of it all. Give us more, okay? It was raining outside. And Phil literally was trying to get Shiloh for 2 hours. If quote me, because that's what he said. Tell me if I'm lying, because that's what Phil said. I mean, that's what Frank said. Frank said he was trying to get her for about 2 hours to get in the daggone car. And it got to the point where he said, get in the car. And if you don't want to get in the car, I'm going to take you to the car. That's what I got. Is that not what I got? I don't know, y'all. Now, y'all can tell me if I'm making up stuff, or y'all can tell me if I didn't hear things correctly. I'm very open to y'all correcting me because I want to make sure that I got my facts right. But from what I heard, it sounded like they were out at 4 or 5 in the morning. It was raining outside, and Phil was waiting for Shallow for as long as he could wait for her, about a couple of hours, until the point he got fed up and it was time to go. I'm sitting here like, child, y'all don't bully Phil into spilling the tea. And I liked it. I'm sorry, Frank. Y'all definitely done bullied that man into just telling everybody's business because he was like, if y'all not gonna do nothing, y'all not gonna be hating on me this whole time. Okay? Don't forget Frank said he was gonna call 911. Okay, Frank said, had that been me, I'd have pulled out my phone and I'm calling the police. That's assault. It's assault. Child. Woo. That Frank is a whole character, but what I am going to tell you is that man lied and he was wasting our time along with Mumin's, okay? Had Mumin really feeling like she was the one when she was never the one. We all knew that she was on some BS. It was okay. It was assault. I'm not saying that it wasn't assault. It's the fact that he was like, "I'm calling the police." I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about all of that. I don't know if it was warrant for all of that. But okay, if that's what you want to do in the situation, do what you feel is necessary for you, Frank. Okay. I don't know if that was quite necessary to that point, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I always believe Phil too. That's that's why Shallow didn't show up. Shallow did not want to show up because she could not handle the heat. Okay, she got some of that backlash before the reunion, and she did not want to sit on that stage, and she did not want to confront the situation at hand because she knew what she did was halfway wrong. You was upset at the fact that he picked you up, but then you said the part that hurt you was basically the fact that he didn't choose you. Girl, make it make sense because it's not making sense. Okay, I say this all the time. The sense that you be trying to give us is just not making the sense that you're trying to give us. Right. The whole time I'm sitting here and I'm just listening to these stories of how everything played out, and it's the most realistic I like view. Like I can see it happening when he was telling the story about everything, and then it all made perfect sense. It was like, okay, now this makes sense. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, this makes sense. This is why Sydney was upset when they were sitting on that couch about the whole colorism and the brown skin girl thing, because she already knew what was up. And I feel like Ready to Love was leaving out stuff, and they wanted to project on certain stuff and not touch on certain issues that needed to be touched on. He tried to listen, listen. He tried to tell us that he couldn't understand how we thought that it wouldn't be a good match for him to be with Mumin because he's hypersexual. Child, do you know what hypersexual is, Mr. Man, with all the big words and all the words that you be using? Okay, I did like the one thing that he said, because Crystal asked him, she asked him, like, do you feel as though rejection had a part to play with why these women were responding the way they were responding? And he said it's a factor in the fraction. It's a what he said was a factor in the fraction. And I said, oh yes, that's a good one. I need to use that. Let me write that down in my notebook for next time. Okay, it's definitely a factor. So for Frank to even be on the outside looking in and know the story, the way the story was supposed to be, the way the story went down, it definitely has something to do with rejection. The whole thing with Zadia, the whole thing with Shallow, like he even basically said that Shallow has a big issue with rejection. I don't know if y'all caught it, but he said that. So let's get back to hypersexual. He said that, oh, because she's affectionate, because she's fine with PDA and all this other stuff, then that's fine, and sex is not a big deal to him. How are you a hypersexual person when sex is not a big deal to you? That don't even work. Those two words are never supposed to be in the same sentence. Sex does is not a big deal to me, yet I'm a hypersexual. Y'all, mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't get it. I don't get it. Being affectionate is totally different than being hypersexual. And if I wasn't on my phone right now, I swear I will look up the definition, but I'm on my phone because y'all know my internet been acting real weird. Okay, real weird. So I'm on my phone and I will look it up for y'all. I probably post it on my community post just so we can be clear. But you saying that, who cares if she's celibate? Who cares? She's affectionate. And sorry, you're the one who calls yourself a hypersexual. We never gave you that label. We never gave you that label. If then he tried to say that him and Walter were basically the same, but Walter never said that he was looking for a girl that was celibate either. That was never on his cross off list. Okay, the women that Walter went for, like Sabrina, he said he looked at Sabrina and said, "You look like you could be a madam." He knew what he was looking for. Okay, he attracted the type of woman he attracts because it was somewhat kind of a little bit genuine, okay? But for you to sit up there and go after this whole woman who is being celibate and is following her religion and going into, this whole walk of faith, and you want to sit here and be a hypersexual man and just try not to make this make sense to us, and then you looking at us like we crazy when you the one that gave yourself that label, child. Frank, shut up. Because I'm already upset with Frank because the way Frank tried to play this ish tonight was way beyond me. Okay, talk about something. Oh, we all. I've been hurt before, Frank. We all been hurt before. I've been hurt before. You've been hurt before. She's been hurt before. He's been hurt before. The main reason why y'all on Ready to Love, might I add, is because most of y'all have probably been hurt before and looking for love. So what kind of sense are you making? I, I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, he definitely wanted exposure. Child, how many times that man said he owned a bar? How many? Let's give Crystal some views, y'all. If we could go back and watch her review and count how many times that man said he owned a bar. How many times did he say it? Did he want to give us the plug on his child, his inventions, and all types of stuff? I said, oh no, it's time for me to go. It's time for me to go. Ready to promote. He was all in those comments. Y'all bullied him and at y'all. Stop it. Cyberbullying is never cool. Frank really tried to play in our face, y'all. He tried it. I just had to come up here just for a little bit, y'all. I'm not gonna stay up here long. But I'm just really, really just upset with him because he really was under the radar this whole season to actually turn around and be like a complete F boy. You really came up there for exposure because you was not looking for love. Because if you was looking for love, you would have went and you wouldn't have been scared of rejection, and you would have picked Sydney whether she would have picked you or not. Ready to lust. I'm fine. Look. At least I know what's happening here. And he wanted Sydney so she could promote his stuff for free. Child, she was gonna be up there in her mini dress. She's so cute. And Walter X said, I think her saying she's celibate is a game. She gonna give it up like, ooh, late, right? Like, child. Mm, mm, mm. But I will tell y'all this. I will tell y'all this. Sabrina, Aisha did not come to play at the reunion. Sabrina and Aisha did not come to play at this mother effing reunion. Okay, this this reunion, I think tops a lot of the reunions I've seen all seasons. Okay, and not even just Ready to Love, just reunions in period, in general. Okay, Frank said that well, for one, he said that he had to learn how to date black women again. So I'm gonna go out and let me say American African American women, not necessarily black women, because it seems like he had a lot of history with African women and Latino women and white women. So if you put all that in a box, it's looking like he's not really into African American women. But that's not surprising because there's a lot of black men who not into African American women for some strange, reason or whatever the case may be. But what I'm saying is he tried to clean it up and make it seem like, oh, he knows that, black women are this and he had to get readjusted and this, that, and other. So why would you go on OWN Network, which was essentially supposed to be a black network, right? Okay, because Oprah started it. And you go on OWN Network and you go on a black dating show where all the cast members are black, okay? Literally black, African American black. And you had to readjust to dating African American women again? Maybe you shouldn't have came on the show again. Maybe not. I'm finding so many reasons why Frank probably shouldn't have been on the show that it's just not making sense to me at this point. Like it's just not making sense to me at this point because the 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 whole interview just was like when he was not talking about every other castmate, we all was sitting there like, what is he talking about though? Why is he here though? Why did he waste Mumi's time? Why did he waste every woman's up this time? Why did he waste Tommy time? Why did he waste our time? Why is the time being wasted? He only went with Mumin, and I will say this and I will say this again because he is scared of rejection or he's scared to be rejected on national television. And for him, his safest bet was to go with Mumin. Why? Because he knew that there was a chance that Sydney could not have picked him. And if Sydney would have not picked him, he would not have looked stupid standing there by himself and her not showing up. So for that, he decided to go with Mumin because Mumin had no other choices. So he picked Mumin, and then he decided that, you know what? Okay, cool. I got her. I don't really want her. So right after today, after we say all these little, nice little words and confess our feelings for each other and how we want to go far, far, far off into the sunset, and his dad gonna say, "Child, Mumin, you don't got your heels all dirty for nothing in that sand, sis, for nothing." For him to turn around and not call you or text you or have any communication with you, but then got the nerve to say that, oh, we had a we did talk, because like we all got together because all the cast got together and we had things to do and we had these to do, we had the show to film and we had to do all this other stuff, but as of the reunion we were good. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. You were in a group environment because you are obligated to be in that group environment, and she just so happens to be part of the cast that you are obligated to be a part of. That does not mean that you was checking for her, sir. That does not mean you was checking for her. Nothing about that means that you was checking for her. Articulate, but can't explain why he ghosted Mumin. Right. And then we was trying to figure it out because he was like, we did talk, but it was like a month later. A month later. Sir, get off my screen. I was like, okay, so you mean to tell me that you gonna try to tell me that you talked to her a month later after you don't went to therapy? And she's just supposed to understand why you ghost her. You can't understand why she's sitting up on this couch mad at you, cursing you out and telling you to hush your mouth because what you saying ain't making no sense. We see why Tommy excused himself. Child, Tommy said, nope, not today. Tommy said, nope, not today, not gonna do it. Y'all can have it. They wore me out this whole season, worst season of my life. Can't do it no more. I'm already on to second season number 6. Child, let them have it. Let them have it. What's her name? What's her name that did the whole thing? Let her do it. Let her do it. Frank, go back over the fence. Do something. Right. He ain't say nothing about him being African at all the whole time until he met his father, until he met Mumi's father. Mumi, like anyone that likes her, that's why she should have been more selective. Girl, you don't have to find love on a show. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, he said it was 30 days later. I'm not lying. I promise y'all that's why I wanted to come up here right after so I don't lose my train of thought because y'all know I ain't take no notes. But he did say it was like 30 days later. Ugh, I just can't. I just don't understand this cast whatsoever. And like the reunion is the best part for me. Aisha, Sabrina, hands down. I respect them so much because no matter what they're gonna say what they got to say, and I appreciate it because if they didn't call out some of the BS that was happening, we would have never got down to the bottom of it. Okay, I feel like although the host was doing her job, it always takes for the cast to call out, but you could tell that this cast got a lot of animosity going on. There's definitely a divide in the whole cast. There's definitely a feud somewhere in there. There's a lot of behind the scenes that we did not see because they coming out swinging. They came out swinging tonight. Next thing, he giving her stolen golf balls. Like, bro, right? He's stealing the golf balls. I can't. I can't. Yes, they do. Cornelia soup. No. Cornelia soup is a no for me. I don't know what that is. They said, what y'all say he was a Latin? All he needed was a monkey on his shoulder, child. I'm not even going to go into all of that because we still got to do the review. We got to do the review and then we could go into all of that in the review. But all I'm saying is, I just cannot deal with the fact that Frank sat up there and tried to play in our face tonight, okay? And y'all bullied him into giving us a whole bunch of tea that he probably wasn't supposed to give, but out there and it was given, okay? Y'all poured it up and y'all drank it, and we over here talking about it, okay? Um, but I just don't understand. The whole time, all I could think about was him shaking that drink, just shaking that drink, shaking that drink, shaking that drink. I just feel like Phil really was under, not Phil, Frank really was under the radar with his F boy tendencies. But a lot of y'all called it out. A lot of y'all was saying, y'all gotta watch out for Frank. You gotta watch out for Frank. But this whole the way he did at the reunion, the way he went up here on this daggone interview, it was very disappointing on how he presented himself as a man. You're saying you're a protector, you're saying you're this, you're saying you're that, yet still you set up there and play with this girl emotion, saying that you didn't want to, you've been hurt before, but yet you hurt someone. You didn't want to be hurt again, but yet you hurt someone. If someone's supposed to be taking a leap with you, why would you do that to her? You could tell that Mumin was hurt. Whether or not she was in this for the right reason, it really came off as though sis was hurt. That's all I'm saying. Hey Marvina. I'm glad they didn't spill a lot of tea before the reunion, or maybe I missed it. They didn't spill a lot of tea before the reunion, which was good because we really got to enjoy the season. I hate when they go into the season and we just like everything just be coming out. And it's like we don't want to watch it. But then again, not too much happened this season because all the good stuff apparently was happening behind the scenes, as we can see now. Hurt people, right? But how you gonna say you didn't want to hurt nobody, but you go up there, you didn't want to be hurt, and you go up there and hurt people. Then you take a month off, you go to therapy, and now you want to come back and explain yourself. Why even choose someone if you felt like you had all of this going on? Because it wasn't like it was a couple of weeks later he decided that he needed to take a mental break. Homeboy said he needed a mental break literally the day after. Like, child, no. No. You wasted our time. No. 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 Okay? He was a party host on the season parties at his place. Right. Like he could have called her and told her before. Exactly. That's my thing. Like, it's all about communication. It's all this is like, how old are we that we can't realize that communication is like one of the biggest keys in any type of relationship? Any type of relationship. Should have did like Sabrina, right? Like, I'm just not ready. No, I can't commit to this. Not right now. Right. It's all the good stuff be happening off camera. And then we gotta sit here and try to piece up stuff and wait for everybody's individual interview to try to make it all make sense. Or the reunion for that matter. Yeah. But like not even for adult relationships, relationships with your kids, relationship with your family, relationship with your spouse, relationships in general. Any type of healthy relationship calls for communication. There's no such thing as a relationship if you are not communicating. And you need to learn to be able to communicate healthy and effectively. And if you cannot do that, then you can't be in a relationship. Why would you go on a show for Ready to Love and then decide that later on after the show you realize you need to learn to communicate because you couldn't tell the girl that you decided to choose and say that you was going to be in a committed relationship with that you needed some time to get yourself together because this whole filming situation, it's a lot for me. Nobody liked Carlton's hair. Nobody liked it. Hey Romel. But he did worse. Coward. Right. I didn't think he didn't want to say that and actually still like Sydney. He absolutely still likes Sydney. Right, no excuses for no communication. I can't understand between the text messages, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, the messengers, the daggone text messages, the WhatsApps. Like, there's no such thing as you could not communicate to someone something. Okay, we still got emails. Take it old school. Email somebody. Email somebody something. No community. It's a poor excuse. It's definitely a poor excuse. If y'all hear something like rumbling around in the background, that's my cat playing with something. I don't know what she playing with, but she doing the most. Something about cats get a lot of energy in the evening, at nighttime, and early in the morning. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. Um, but yeah, I was completely over Frank's interview. I had to get off there. Crystal, by the way, looked very cute. Okay, I was really feeling that shirt. It was the shirt for me. Okay, she had a nice little cleavage showing or whatever. Okay, and the whole time I was just like, I don't really care what Frank got to say until Frank started spilling all the tea. Then I was like, let me pay attention because it's gonna make sense, and it did make sense. But other than that, that was all, y'all. I just want to come up here for a few seconds. I ain't want to hold y'all all night because this is definitely a ready to love overload between the show, the interviews, the lives, and now us up here talking about it all over again. I'm gonna let y'all go because we definitely gonna come back tomorrow. I have to work early in the morning, so we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna have our ready to love. I don't know if I'm gonna record this, do half and half. I know I'm not recording Married at First Sight. It's too much, so we definitely gonna be live for Married at First Sight. We're gonna have our live for Ready to Love. I just don't know if I'm gonna record and then do it live or if I'm gonna do both in the same day. Tomorrow might be busy, but whatever, y'all. Whatever. Don't listen to me ramble. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm praying for your husband. I hope he's feeling better. He's up back to being annoying. Remember, vitamin C, zinc, and D. Yes, all the vitamins. He's taking all the vitamins. All the vitamins. I'm taking my vitamins too, y'all, because I can't be letting it, come back over here. But I just wanted to come up here and just, get that off my chest while it was still hot on my brain, y'all. Because y'all know my memory be leaving me. But don't forget, like the channel, subscribe. Thank you, Shirley, for the medicine. Okay. And I'm gonna talk to you guys later. I'm about to get up off of here. And we gonna be busy tomorrow. So I hope y'all got your notifications on, because child, we got a lot to get into tomorrow. Okay. But anyway, let me get it off of here. Bye. Peace.